I mean, people say that there's a split screen. You can always take a split screen approach to American politics, right? Whatever the problems are in the country, the Democrats will have an idea about how to do it. The Republicans will have a different idea. And then we'll have a fight as a country. And maybe we'll come down somewhere in the middle. That's not what our lives are like right now. That is not what our country is like right now. What I just described is what's happening on Earth One, right? That's sort of what Democratic Party politics are sort of wrangling with and the contours of the kinds of problems they're trying to approach right now. That's Earth One. Earth Two? Here's the other party. Here's the headline today in the Philadelphia Inquirer. Quote, key Pennsylvania Republican asks counties to hand over ballots and election equipment for an Arizona-style audit in Pennsylvania. Here we go. 8 months after the 2020 presidential election, Republicans in Pennsylvania are starting up their own inquisition, summoning the ballots and the voting machines and the tabulators, because they too, just like the Republicans in Arizona, just like the Republicans in Wisconsin, just like the Republicans in Georgia, insist that their real work as elected officials right now is to ferret out the infernal machinations of the Illuminati and the deep state and the Jewish bankers. Right, and the dead communists who tricked the world into believing that the Lord Emperor Donald Trump is no longer president when clearly he is poised to be reinstated after the fraud is revealed. I mean, in Arizona today, here's the headline in the Arizona Republic. It's about how at least a couple more weeks. Headline today in the Arizona Republic is how their inquisition into the election, which started in April, it's going to go on a few more weeks. They're enjoying themselves, frankly, playing with all the millions of ballots and all the election equipment they used their power as Republican state legislators to get. They know they said it would be over by May, but it's July now. And as of today, they say they're not planning actually on it being done anytime soon. It's really working out for them. They're enjoying it. And Pennsylvania Republicans really are, as of today, starting up their own version of what's going on in Arizona. They've started in the Pennsylvania legislature. They started with a voluntary request from this Pennsylvania Republican legislator, voluntary request to 3 Pennsylvania counties, but they're threatening that subpoenas, mandatory demands will follow if and when the counties say no. And might the counties say no? I don't know. What would you say if you were a Pennsylvania county? And this was the list of things that this guy just demanded you hand over. All the ballots from the presidential election, the mail ballot applications, the mail ballot envelopes, the voting machines, the ballot scanners, the vote counting equipment, the ballot production equipment, the poll books, all computer equipment used throughout the election process. In all 45 different categories of material, they want handed over in full to the Republicans in the Arizona state legislature who will have a look-see. In Arizona, this mess in Arizona has been one county. This inquisition in Arizona and the cyber ninjas and the stuff that started in April was supposed to be done in May, but now it's June, now it's July, it was going to be done last Thursday. Now we think we'll take it till August. We don't know. We're enjoying ourselves. In Arizona, that was one county, and it's been going on since April. In Pennsylvania, they are starting with these demands to 3 counties, including Philadelphia. And then they say after that initial response, they'll make the same demands of more counties. So, hey, maybe they'll be able to keep theirs going on for years. There is no split screen. There are 2 different worlds. There is a party that is trying to use electoral politics and the democratic process to make policy about problems that the country faces. There is another party that is trying to end the use of electoral politics as an objective way of deciding who has power and how questions get resolved in our country. The 2 parties are engaged right now in fundamentally different projects. One of them is engaged in the political cogitation around solving problems. The other one is engaged in cogitation about ending democracy, right? On Earth One, there's like serious stuff going on right now. A presidential assassination in a nearby troubled country that we are inextricably entwined with. Ending a 20-year war, trying to save our allies there while we're on our way out the door. Innovating new approaches to a rapidly evolving COVID challenge. Innovating new approaches to long-standing, intractable, deadly, only in America problems like mass gun violence. On Earth 2, it's like, Dude, oh, look, Rudy Giuliani just lost his license to practice law in D.C., too, as well as New York, because he's the president's personal lawyer, and he's been doing lots of the lying about whether the last Republican president actually lost the election. As maybe he didn't, because maybe communists or something. Which is something apparently we're going to be litigating full-time now in multiple states, wherever Republicans have power, as the only detailed project rising Republican officials and candidates actually want to work on full-time, aside from anything they can do to make it harder to vote and to pick on trans kids. One of these things is not like the other. I keep waiting for the Beltway press to catch on to this here.